Okay, so this is take 3. I've tried to do the masculine reading and it just keeps, I don't know, there's no sound. I don't know. Maybe you guys just aren't ready to hear it. I don't know. I mean, it was quite profound. Anyway, I shall recap it. Basically, what it is that the divine masculine is in a stage of contemplation and coming into balance within. And to do that, he needs to access the divine feminine essence within, which he has ignored for some time because of the fact that he has, you know, we've been under a dark force for a millennia that has literally led us away from being in balance with our divinity at all. So for the masculine to come into being and to come into source, into connection with source, his way to the connection with source is through his divine feminine. Now, whether the instigator comes in the form of a projected divine feminine, that could be, but she is literally the instigation for him to go in to find his own source, his own divine feminine essence that he can then come into balance with and therefore connect to source presence. Now, always, 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 the devil or the darkness or the negative or the ego is in constant, lookout for trouble. So he can also be very tempted by the outside world, by the matrix, which will constantly tempt him with all sorts of distractions so that he does not actually come into connection and contact with his own divine essence, his own divine feminine essence, and therefore not connect to source and to all that is, which is the God presence within, which lies within each and every single one of us. So when I'm talking about masculine and feminine energies, I am talking about energies, not the actual gender. So we have masculine and feminine within each and every single one of us, and at any given time we can flip into either. But for some, there are who are on who are connected more to that masculine source, who are more masculine in energy. Anyway, so this is like hard because like I had this profound reading that was very channeled and it all went, but anyway, so that's pretty much it in a nutshell. So what's going on for the masculine right now is that there is this deep contemplation coming into balance so that he can actually access source, which is to provide himself with some faith and some hope in moving forward into these new earth energies that are of a higher vibrationary level and a higher frequency bandwidth, so that, you know, which literally is blasting through all of us at the moment. It cannot, the old ways are no longer able to be sustained, and he knows that he will have to change his ways. Any addictions, any temptations, any distractions, anything like that at all is going to have to be contemplated on, and in some cases removed entirely, so that he can access his divinity through that feminine source which he has within. And that's where he needs to go, to look for the essence of his divine feminine within. That will then he'll be able to then move into a greater sense of balance and a greater sense of stillness and being at one with all that is. And from there, he is able to move in a lot more balanced way, in a lot more intuitive way, so that he is not relying on something outside of himself, because the masculine is all about relying on outer sources rather than looking within. But this is what is going on right now. These contemplative hermit type energies, that is now coming out of the hermit into these contemplative energies of balance. This is going to make him step forward in such a way that leaves the ego and the matrix behind. This is going to lead to a permanent, I'm hearing, permanent ego death for a lot of masculines, if they are prepared now to move forward. Okay, so I hope that makes some sort of sense, and I hope to God this has sound. Okay, bye for now.